That was the best clap I've done in a long time, so I hope you got it. What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about the Crossfire 2 2-7x32 crossbow scope. Now, this scope is not like your average rifle scope. There are a lot of features built into it specific to crossbows. So if you are somebody out there looking to use a scope on your crossbow for hunting or recreational shooting and you want to be more accurate with it, this is a great option for you. If you're looking for something for your rifle, definitely check out some of our other videos on a few of our other products in the Crossfire 2 line as well. Now, what are some of those crossbow specific features? Well, first and foremost, inside of the scope is our XBR2 reticle, which has been specifically calibrated to help shooters of crossbows be accurate from 20 yards out to 100 yards, utilizing a 40-yard zero. Now, the reticle inside this is a lot like a BDC reticle in your traditional rifle scope in that it gives you hash marks for different distances that line up, hopefully, with your particular arrow out of your crossbow. Now, we know the FPS or feet per second figures of your crossbow arrow can vary greatly depending on the actual crossbow itself or a number of other factors. So we didn't want to make that only correlate to one particular FPS. Now, we utilize the fact that this is a second focal plane reticle and its scale in relation to the image actually changes as you change magnification to our advantage in that each magnification you'll see indicated on the mag ring here correlates to a different FPS. And you'll do a little fine tuning of that when you do your sighting in, and we'll have a video on that particular process for you to check out if you do get this scope for your crossbow. In the middle here on the turrets, the elevation and windage act just like your rifle scope's turrets in that they dial in half MOA increments. Then on the side here, we have our illumination dial, and the illumination is actually in red or green in this particular case, and you can choose that right here on the dial depending on which direction you spin it. Now, when you get this crossbow scope to make it a more complete kit, it's going to come with flip caps for the eyepiece and objective. It's going to come with a neoprene scope cover to protect it when it's in storage, and it's going to come with rings to mount it right up on your crossbow, so you don't even need to get anything else. This one scope has it all for you right out of the box. All right, everybody, that is the Crossfire 2 2-7x32 crossbow scope. Like we said, we'll have some other videos on the sight-in process and how to use the reticle specifically. But if you have any other questions on this scope in particular, let us know in the comments below or hit us up on the phone, email, or social media. And until the next video, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Okay, where do I start? Where do you start with a crossbow scope? In order to allow us to line it up with different SPF. Problem is that I start talking and I don't remember what I just said, so I don't know what I actually said there.
Our Rangemaster Pro Scope comes standard on our top-of-the-line bow collection and features a variable speed and arrow drop compensation setting for crossbows that shoot between 275 feet per second and 425 feet per second. No adjustment for distance is required. The configuration consists of 3 duplex crosshairs and 5 dots calibrated for 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60 yards. The 4th and 5th dots are freestanding, situated just below the 40-yard crosshair. This scope is compact, lightweight, and is equipped with an etched glass reticle and fully multi-coated 1.5 to 5 power optics. The 8¼ scope features a 30mm tube for heightened light gathering and durability. Before sighting in your crossbow, adjust the speed dial on the scope to match the advertised speed of your crossbow. Then sight the crossbow in at 20 yards using the top dot or line, making any windage and/or elevation changes necessary. Fine-tune your scope settings at the 40-yard dot or line or 50-yard freestanding dot using the scope's speed dial. If you're hitting high at the 40 or 50-yard distances, adjust the speed dial to a higher speed level. Or if you're hitting low, adjust the dial to a lower speed level.
This is Peter, and I'm here with Mark Ambrose from SA Sports. And Mark, what he's going to do is going to go over with us on how to set the scope. We already put the whole fever together, and what we're going to do right now is just try to explain a little to you what to do the proper way to mount your scope on to your fever. So Mark, give me a couple of hints here.
Thanks, Pete. First, you should have already watched the video on YouTube on the assembly process, so you should be pretty much to this point.
Right. Have
the fully assembled crossbow. So I wanted to just go in a little more detail on what some of the things that might be affecting their shooting, and easy tips that can eliminate a lot of problems for people. So we'll expand on that. So the first thing that I would do is take a look at this setup right now, and you can see on here the scope base is got there's an adjustment knob on here that if you're using a single crosshair scope, that's handy because you can click it and change your yardage
right off of that,
off of the scope. But with a multiple line scope with multiple yardages built in, you don't need to use that feature. So this one has got the scope pointing downward, which would make you shoot probably over the target at this point if you tried to shoot it right now.
All right.
So we're going to take this little knob here and just turn it. Keep turning it until you'll hear an audible click.
There you go.
That popped into place. So
now your whole level.
Now this base is level, and what you do then is take your scope out. You loosen the rings up, both the sides and the clamps that hold it onto the weaver base, and then there are multiple little slots on here that you can choose from.
Right.
My personal preference is the front slot and the second one from the rear. That gives me the eye relief that I like. I can see the field of view without having to move my head back and forth a lot.
It fits right into perfect.
So it fits right in there. So, and then what you want to do is leave these top rings loose, the clamps on the top that hold the scope in place.
Right.
And in the meantime, then you want to tighten down the clamps
to the base.
And that's just using an Allen key. We'll just get them tight enough to hold it on there so we can make some further adjustments. Find the vertical line and the crosshairs and just adjust it until it's at a level position. Take a small bullet level, get some sandbags that you can use, one of the Allen keys that comes with it, to finely tune it and get it perfectly level, and then you can also lock it down so the knob won't move at all.
So your base won't move at all? Everything?
Then it'll be secure, flat, permanent.
If you don't want to adjust it up and down.
If you don't want to be able to use that adjustment knob. So
okay.
Let's
range over here, sight it in, and get it done.
Okay. Okay, folks, we got our crossbow fully assembled. The previous step that we just finished was leveling out the scope base. We've got everything tightened down. Now we're ready to start target shooting and get this thing sighted in so we can go out and take a turkey. First thing you're going to want to do, those are my pockets so I don't lose them. Second thing you're going to want to do, and before you start shooting anytime, is take some rail lube, put it on the center of the string serving, put it in there pretty liberally, and then just take your fingers, your string centered the same way every time. Because if you try to do it with your hands, see how wide your hands are versus the width of that hook, you got a lot of room to play, and it makes your shots a little bit erratic. Okay, so since we don't have a bench here, we're just going to use a shooting stick, like a little Y stick, and a chair so that we have a stable platform. Maybe not too. That's about as good as you can get at a 10-yard shot on the second shot out of the box. So I'll pull that arrow down there and we'll duplicate that shot again, and if we can duplicate that, we're ready to either move back to another yardage or take the yardages as they come with the reticles, which at 10 yards you'll get about 17 and 25 for your 3 different lines that are inside the scope. Okay, we're going to take our third shot. Hopefully this will be our final shot. Again, the auto safety came on, so I have to release the safety and get ready to take this shot. The turkeys that we're going to be hunting, our blind is set up so that it should be about a 17-yard shot if they respond to what we've set up, and that would indicate our second line in our crosshairs. So I'd say we're pretty well sighted in here, so we're finished at this point.
Hey folks, finally made it out here. As you can see, we finally got the new SA Sport Fever crossbow all set up. As Mark was explaining, we set up the sight. We went ahead and zeroed it in, got it shooting at 15 and 20 yards, right on the money. So with any luck right now, we can get a turkey come in with where we want him to come into, and within range, and hopefully we can get the shot and get the kill. So let's get our stuff together and go.